Ecuador, its very name means equator. This small country, nestled on the waistline of the world, is a place where the sun passes directly overhead and where the hemispheres meet. But Ecuador is so much more than just a point on a map. What makes this country truly unique is the incredible diversity packed into its compact borders. Despite its modest size, Ecuador is a land of extremes, where every turn reveals a new world. In a single day, you can journey from the steamy emerald depths of the Amazon rainforest to the icy snow-capped peaks of the Andes Mountains, experiencing dramatic changes in scenery and climate along the way. Ecuador is divided into 4 distinct regions: the sun-drenched Pacific coast, the majestic highlands, the mysterious Amazon, and the legendary Galapagos Islands, each with its own unique story to tell. The Galapagos in particular are world-famous for their otherworldly landscapes and rare wildlife found nowhere else on Earth. Each region bursts with its own climate, from misty highland mornings to sun-soaked coastal afternoons, and lush, rain-drenched forests teeming with life. The wildlife is just as varied. Colorful toucans, curious llamas, and ancient marine iguanas all call Ecuador home, each adapted to their unique environment. In many ways, Ecuador is a microcosm of South America, a place where the continent's most iconic landscapes and creatures come together. The people of Ecuador are just as diverse, blending ancient indigenous traditions with Spanish influences, creating a vibrant tapestry of cultures. This fusion is reflected in the music that fills the air, from haunting Andean flutes to lively street performances. It's found in the flavors of traditional dishes at bustling markets, and in the vibrant colors of local art displayed in open-air galleries. Despite being about the size of Colorado, Ecuador is one of the world's most biodiverse countries, sheltering thousands of unique species of plants, birds, and animals. The Galapagos Islands, a living laboratory of evolution, famously inspired Charles Darwin and continue to captivate scientists and travelers alike. From the lively, colorful markets where locals gather to trade and celebrate, to the cobblestone streets and grand plazas of colonial cities like Quito, one of the very first UNESCO World Heritage Sites, Ecuador is a land of constant discovery, where every journey reveals something new and unexpected. Here, nature and culture intertwine in daily life, from vibrant festivals to quiet moments in breathtaking natural settings, creating a place unlike any other on Earth. This is the perfect starting point for understanding the story behind Ecuador's remarkable name, a land where contrasts come together in harmony and adventure awaits at every turn. The equator, 0 degrees latitude, cuts through the heart of Ecuador, giving the country its very name and shaping nearly every aspect of its climate, geography, and culture. This invisible line, stretching over 40,000 kilometers around the globe, is more than just a marker on a map. It's a force that defines life here. In Ecuador, the equator's presence means there are no 4 traditional seasons. Instead, the year is split into wet and dry periods, with the sun rising and setting at almost the same time every day. Daylight lasts for 12 hours, creating a rhythm of life that's steady and predictable, unlike anywhere else on Earth. The equator's unique physics are on display here. The Coriolis effect is at its weakest, and water drains almost perfectly straight down, a phenomenon that fascinates visitors and is demonstrated daily at the Mitad del Mundo monument. Tourists gather to watch these experiments, marveling at the subtle but real differences that the equator brings. Long before modern maps or GPS, indigenous peoples living in this region recognized the equator's power. They carefully tracked the sun's path across the sky, using its position to mark time and celebrate the equinoxes, those rare days when shadows vanish at noon and the sun stands directly overhead. These celestial events were more than just curiosities. They guided planting and harvest, shaped rituals, and inspired reverence for the sun god, Inti. The equator was central to their understanding of the world and their place within it. For Ecuadorians today, the equator isn't just a line on the ground. It's a living part of their heritage, woven into their history, their daily routines, and their sense of identity. It shapes their environment, influences their traditions, and gives them a unique sense of place in the world. Festivals, markets, and daily life all unfold in the shadow of this remarkable line. The equator is both a scientific marvel and a cultural cornerstone, drawing visitors from around the globe and reminding locals of their special connection to the planet. It set the stage for the country's name and identity, and continues to inspire wonder, pride, and a deep sense of belonging for all who live along its path. Before the Spanish arrived, Ecuador was home to advanced indigenous cultures. The Valdivia, among the oldest, crafted pottery and Venus figurines, while coastal Manta and Huancavilca peoples mastered seafaring and trade. In the highlands, the Canary built terraced farms and worked gold and copper. The Incas later conquered the region, connecting it with their vast road network and spreading the Quechua language. These civilizations were astronomers, engineers, and artists, living in harmony with the land and the sun. Their achievements laid the foundation for Ecuador's rich cultural heritage. Their knowledge and resilience endure in today's traditions. Into this world, the Spanish would arrive, forever altering the region's destiny. In 1532, Spanish conquistadors led by Francisco Pizarro arrived on the rugged Andean shores, their gleaming armor and foreign banners signaling the dawn of a new era. They found the Inca Empire weakened, torn apart by a brutal civil war between brothers Atahualpa and Huáscar, each vying for the throne. The Spanish, skilled in the art of conquest, saw an opportunity to exploit these divisions. With superior steel weapons, horses, and cunning diplomacy, the Spanish captured Atahualpa in a bold ambush. They demanded a staggering ransom of gold and silver, filling entire rooms with treasure. Yet, even after the ransom was paid, Atahualpa was executed, leaving the Inca leadership shattered and the empire vulnerable to further conquest. The conquest was swift and devastating. European diseases like smallpox swept through the land, decimating the population before many had even seen a Spaniard. Internal strife and betrayal further weakened indigenous resistance, making the Spanish advance nearly unstoppable. The Spanish imposed their language, Catholic faith, and new systems of government, building grand cities like Quito directly atop the ruins of ancient indigenous settlements. The landscape itself began to change as European customs and architecture took root. Indigenous people were forced into harsh labor on encomiendas, vast estates controlled by Spanish settlers. Many toiled in mines and fields under brutal conditions, their traditional ways of life disrupted and their communities forever altered. Colonial society was rigidly hierarchical. Spaniards and their descendants occupied the highest ranks, while indigenous peoples and those of mixed ancestry were relegated to the lowest positions, facing discrimination and limited rights. The population was decimated by violence, forced labor, and waves of disease. Entire villages vanished, and ancient traditions teetered on the brink of extinction. Over the course of 3 centuries, colonial rule transformed the land and its people. New cities rose, economies shifted, and a complex society emerged from the blending of cultures and histories. Yet, beneath the surface, indigenous traditions, languages, and resilience endured. In remote villages and mountain valleys, the spirit of the ancestors lived on, quietly shaping the future. This era of upheaval and transformation set the stage for the birth of a new nation, one forged from the meeting of worlds and the enduring strength of its people. Under Spanish rule, the region was known as the Real Audiencia de Quito, a vast territory with Quito as its capital. For centuries it thrived on agriculture and textiles, developing a unique identity. By the 1800s, inspired by global revolutions, local leaders sought independence. The first uprising in Quito in 1809 sparked a movement remembered as Ecuador's first cry for independence. After years of struggle, General Sucre's victory at the Battle of Pichincha in 1822 secured liberation. The region briefly joined Gran Colombia, but internal divisions led to its dissolution by 1830. The people of Quito and surrounding regions now faced a new challenge, defining their nation. The search for a unifying identity began. The answer would come from geography itself. After Gran Colombia's collapse, leaders needed a name for their new country. Naming it Quito risked alienating other regions, so they sought a unifying symbol. The equator, highlighted by an 18th-century French scientific mission, offered the perfect choice. They named the nation Ecuador, Spanish for equator, grounding its identity in geography, not politics. The name was modern, inclusive, and globally recognizable. Today, the Mitad del Mundo monument near Quito celebrates this identity, letting visitors stand in both hemispheres at once. The equator became more than a line, it's a source of national pride. Ecuadorians embrace their unique place at the center of the world. The name unites the country and shapes its story. The name Ecuador is a global invitation, simple, memorable, and instantly intriguing. It draws tourists eager to stand at the center of the world, boosting the nation's economy and international profile. The Mitad del Mundo is a top attraction, and the country's branding revolves around its equatorial identity. Ecuador stands out among its neighbors, its name a destination in itself. The name also reflects the nation's role as guardian of global treasures, from the Galapagos to the Equator. Ecuador's story is one of unity, resilience, and a unique place on Earth. A name can capture the soul of a nation, and Ecuador's does just that. If you enjoyed this journey, like, subscribe, and tell us which country's name you want to explore next.